should be important to everyone.
Welcome into another edition of Box Office Quarterbacks. Back with my friend Gerald, back talking about nerd shit, the thing we love doing the most, and some would say the only thing we talk about. But today, Gerald, we are talking about Fallout, a series that dropped on Amazon 2 weeks ago, starring Ella Purnell, Walton Goggins, Aaron Moten, an adaptation of Bethesda games that came out in the last decade. Took me by surprise. This is one of the best video game adaptations I think I've ever seen.
It's it's definitely up there, and it's crazy because we live. I mean, we've had a ton of video game adaptations over time, right? Super Mario, um, the obvious one everybody likes to make fun of, but the past several years we've been getting decent ones. The Last of Us, Sonic, Super Mario. We're getting good ones now, and then this one really just kind of takes that to the next level. I don't know what I was expecting. I have played Fallout 4 through. I've played through once, and that's the only Fallout I've played. But this it nails it. It nails it in so many ways.
Yeah, like I knew nothing about the world. Like I knew of Fallout. Like I remember seeing the thumbs up guy. Like I remember seeing that logo everywhere. And but as far as like what the story was and everything like that, I was brand new to this universe. And the showrunner is definitely a name we know. It's Jonathan Nolan. Is Christopher Nolan's brother. He also did Westworld. And if any of you watch Westworld, this is shades of that show like built throughout this narrative, even down to the ghoul character. You could see where Jonathan Nolan got inspiration for the show that he did before this. And I really loved how they divided up the three characters to start this series with Lucy, Maximus, and the ghoul, and then they had them all converge at the end of the series. I thought like getting three different storylines to mesh so well at the very end was very, very strong, and not a lot of shows can stick that landing.
And not a lot of shows can do that. And it's not like they had 20 episodes to do it in. You know, they did it in a small amount of episodes, and they did it very well. This, and to me, it's like since I played Fallout 4, it definitely reeks of that game storyline so much. And I don't want to spoil it for Jeff too much because um, well, you have to do stuff, but it just fits into the Fallout world so well, man. And like, because in Fallout world, like that, it has been established. Like every one of the games, you're a different Vault character, and there's different things that happen in your Vault, and you find all the stuff about the studies and everything. And then now you see in this world, and at the same time, it feels like the Fallout 4 story to an extent. Like there are ghouls. There's a in kind of a time like how long people have been around type of deal, like not like a time travel type of deal, but like the 200-year-old people and stuff like that. It's just I love it, and like one of the things I love the most is that like it's while also being very realistic and feeling like a great addition to it, it still makes fun of itself. Like the dog at one point, just there's a dog that gets absolutely murked, and this guy just walks over and goes like, "It's okay, baby," and then puts a stim pack on him, and the dog's back up and running.
Yeah.
5 seconds later, it's like just shows the strength of the stim pack, and it's hilarious. Like I love that stuff.
Yeah, I love the dog. I love Dog Meat, the character, and she just kind of changes owners like three different times throughout the entire run of the 8 episodes that we see here. And like the special effects are great. Like I think some of the monsters look really cool. Like there's episode 2 when Maximus and the real Titus are out in the woods for the first time. They get attacked by like a radioactive bear. There's that huge salamander thing in the water. There's so many cool scenes here, Gerald. Any of them that stood out to you?
Man, there's so many. Like you said, like the salamander thing that has like human, like it's kind of like because it's morphed
Yeah.
people. Like that thing was crazy. Like that whole stuff was insane. Um, it was just there's so many scenes. It's hard to pick one. Like, and that's something I hope that like the viewers and our listeners like get across from watching this is that like you don't have to be the game fan. I don't think. Just enjoy like the post-apocalyptic thing that we all keep binging ourselves on, and this is done well. It's not it's not Walking Dead bad, Like this is a good post-apocalyptic TV show, good dystopian future if you want to call it that. Whatever, like it's fun, it's exciting, it's got really good tension in here, your drama, and some crazy just visual effects. Like that opening scene, man. I think the
Yeah.
opening scene though might be the thing for me because that opening scene just it's so damn good. So if you had to pick one, make that one because it's so the first scene of episode one, right before the bombs drop, it just
Ye-
sets the entire tone. And
yeah.
each scene
It,
from then on, like I wouldn't say any of them are worse or any of them are better. It's just like it continues from that point, and it doesn't really get worse at all. Like there's never a downturn, I guess.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go the complete opposite of you. I think the finale, the last episode when there's a showdown, and we're in spoiler territory here, so turn away if you have not watched this show. But the showdown between Lucy and Moldaver and Lucy's dad, and you find out what Lucy's dad has been up to this whole time and how he ties into the Ghoul's backstory too, and just what this Vault Tech company was doing before the end of the world, I thought was so strong, and the acting was great, especially Ella Purnell as Lucy in that scene. It was just, finding out that her mom is a ghoul now, that shit was a crazy reveal. That would probably be my favorite scene of the series, but there's a whole bunch more that I could
There it
pick
is.
from.
And Ella Purnell, to me, is the star of this show. Now, don't get me wrong. Walton Goggins as the Ghoul is perfect. I love him. Again, brings a character that, and it's not a character from the games, but I remember in Fallout 4, and I'm replaying it right now because, by the way, PlayStation is having an update to Fallout 4. It's going to have higher frames per second. I think they're adding a new mission. They're adding a whole bunch of new stuff in there. So it's like April 25th is when they're dropping. So make sure you download it. It's free if you have PS Premium, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's cheaper. It's not too expensive though to just buy it. But Walton Goggins, I feel like he really embodied his character. He did fantastic. But Ella Purnell, I hope this is like her true coming out party. I think she was amazing in Yellow Jackets. I loved her in it, and I think that was a good coming out little thing for her. But she's still fantastic in that show. And in this one, every scene she's in, like she has so much emotion. She's great in the action scenes. She's great in the talking scenes. She is really portrays, and you really get this great character arc of this person who goes into this new world very naive, and at the end is able to look what is her mother in the face and shoot her.
Yeah, it is a crazy character arc from that first episode where she's getting married off and you don't know much about her. Yeah, she is probably going to be my favorite character as well. I love Walton Goggins. His range as an actor is crazy, just because if anybody watched The Righteous Gemstones, he's Baby Billy in that show. And like my wife, this is the second thing that she's seen of Walton Goggins, and she's like, he's really not an old man. Like he's so convincing as like this old uh, preacher in The Righteous Gemstones to go to playing the ghoul and being like an anti-hero, basically the Punisher of this world. And it is a crazy dynamic to have him play those two different characters. I love Maximus too. I thought he was really good, and I think he got stronger as the season went. Some really good supporting actors. Moises Arias, if you know from Rico,
Yeah,
as Hannah Montana
that was like, I didn't
from
even
Hannah
realize that
Montana.
you brought that up before the show. I was like, no way.
Yeah,
What happened? Because like he had disappeared for a longest time, man. Like I don't remember what happened to him.
I'm happy he's still working. I was like, hey, I know this dude.
I
Uh,
remember that.
he didn't get any taller, but he is still working, and I'm proud of him.
He
So
still looks young. So there
yeah,
you go.
yeah, good genes. I think the only downfall that this show has for me is they dropped all the episodes at once. I think that had they have done like a weekly release, I think we probably would have built up a lot of hype because we're a week into this thing, and I think everybody has pretty much watched it by now.
I mean, yes and no. I'm all for the binging. It's what we have these streaming services for, right? Because like try to keep this rant really freaking quick. But like we moved to streaming to get away from commercials and to do whatever, like watch when we wanted and how we wanted, which invented the like binging whole stuff, right? Which is why binging is existent. And now we just keep rising prices and adding advertisements and getting commercials. And now we're having weekly drops like it's a fucking TV show that you waited for on like Fox or CBS every week, like NCIS or some shit, you know, or like Grey's Anatomy when it was going on ABC. Like we literally invented streaming to get the fuck away from that. And so now there's 15 streaming platforms. We're all paying $25 for premium service to get one ad instead of six, or maybe no ads if we're lucky. And then you're adding the weekly thing. And I understand the weekly thing because it is kind of smart to keep the conversation going on about it for a while. But binging it was invented for a reason, right? Or it wasn't invented, but it kind of came around through a thing. We went to streaming
Yeah.
for a reason, and I love this way. I loved it, and it was fun. And I don't want to have to wait for it. I mean, imagine they may have to wait 8 weeks to talk about it, or 4 weeks.
That's true. But I mean, you could go either way with this. Just get one big streaming service and call it cable, and then guess what will happen? Yeah, crazy idea, right?
We're just going in a circle. I guarantee you, we're going in a circle. It's going right
Yeah,
back.
Cable Plus. But anyway, back to Fallout. Let's talk about our final scores, Gerald. Final scores of the show. I think we've become too like easygoing with our ratings. And like as much as I want to give it a Hall of Fame, I think it is a good start, but I'm going to give it an all-star because I think I need one more season to really solidify if this is Hall of Fame worthy.
I don't know, man. For me, especially since I've played at least one of the games, and I was replaying a little bit now before I realized there was an update, but it nails the world so well. It doesn't feel like an adaptation as much as it feels like another game that instead of me playing, I'm watching being played for me. It's almost like I'm on like a really greatly graphic, great design, much shorter version, a little less in detail in the sense of like loot and shit. Fallout game, and I loved it. Every minute of it. It was exciting. There were twists that I didn't expect, and twists that felt eerily similar to Fallout 4 story. Like in Fallout 4 story, Jeff. Spoiler alert.
Just spoil it for me. Go
I'm
ahead.
going to.
Yeah.
The main villain is like a future version, or the future like the kid of like the protagonist.
Oh shit.
Like but like he's old as shit. Like it's confusing as shit. It's some like time travel type stuff. Not really time travel, just time shit involved. And there were like or like I guess it 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 nails the fucking world is what I'm getting at. It does it very well. Everybody I've talked to is in love with it. They've binged it in whether it's a day or 2 weeks with their friends or family. Um, it's grabbing people by the balls and making them download the game from like what 2012.
Yeah.
I it's a Hall of Fame, and it's also raised the bar on a genre that has been consistently raising a bar for about 5 to 6 years now. I would say.
Yeah. I think we cracked a formula here when it comes to video game adaptations. Like with The Last of Us and this, I think like scripted series, 8 to 10 episodes is the way to go to prevent, like a Resident Evil type scenario where you get these movies that don't make sense, or the upcoming Borderlands movie, which looks like they're trying to rip off Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
Or Halo, where they showed us Master Chief's face.
oh yes.
But like, and I can't get through Halo. I swear to fuck, like, it's bad. So I've just haven't. But yes, and like Rampage, it's not Rampage. I mean, even Sonic is good. I like Sonic.
Yeah. But I think we are sort of entering a golden age of video game adaptations. I'm excited to continue this world. Excited to see what these actors do next. I think Ella Purnell is going to be a huge breakout star after this. So definitely be interesting to see. Anything else you want to add about Fallout before we get out of here, Gerald?
If I read somewhere a while back that the Horizon video games, Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, were getting a TV show or something. I don't remember where I read that, but it was a while ago. If we can get Nolan on it, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah. Well, the nerd shit is rolling out finally. We got we got more episodes planned here coming up in the next few weeks. I am Jeff. That's my friend Gerald. We will talk to you guys very, very soon.